We didn't choose you, you chose us. Lord, your love will benefit us. From the time that you made us, from the dust, from the dust. Your love is what's protecting us from the pain and the strength that this world brings. But I'm happy to say that I pray to a God who's listening to the word.
All right, shalom, Israel. It is Esther, and you're in Esther's kitchen. So this is day 2 of my shopping trip, and I am going to talk to you about or show you how I prepare my meats. So remember, day 1 was the tomatoes. While they are still in the dehydrator, I'm going to go ahead and prepare my meats. So it was only a few. I didn't buy very much meat, but I'm going to go ahead and show you how I separate my meat so that they'll last a longer time. You can put them in the freezer, and well, let me just show you. Okay. All right, so these are the meats that I bought with my budget. Like I said, my budget was around $400. I spent this was a good deal at Sam's. I seen at Kroger's usually about $20 something, $23, $25, and this is like 3 pounds, 3.75 pounds. So a good $44, $55 on meats. So I just got a chicken. I'm trying to stay away from the chicken, but I'm preparing a dish with this, so I got that. And my salmon, I'm gonna get it, scale it, clean it, cut it up, season it, separate it, freeze it. So we're trying to make everything as simple as possible. Okay, so I'm working by myself. So we're gonna clean the fish. First thing you want to do, I'm sure you know. For those who don't know, I'm just going through the motions. You want to smell it. I always smell, yeah. It smells, it makes sure it smells good and fresh. Or sometimes stuff that's on sale, and you think you're getting a good price, and you get it home, and it's like, no sir. But, okay, this smells good. Rinse it, and of course in a clean sink. And we're gonna get rid of all this. And then we gotta scale the salmon. Now that is a nice big piece of salmon. We're gonna eat off of this for a while. So I always just use a knife, and I go from, I always leave my water running, and I just scale it from the opposite end going upward. And you don't want to move your dishes back if you're over here. So, I mean, when you keep the water running, it kind of keeps the scales from flying all over the place. So I normally scale it under the water, and just a little bit at a time. I start at the very tip. I don't know if y'all can see me. But if you keep keep it under the water running, That keeps it from flying so much. The scales from flying. And then I just move my way down. Of course, fresh fish is better, but we got to, right now, we can do what we got to do. And while we're trying to make that transition into eating vegan, more vegan, hey, until then, we don't do fish. So I just continue to move my way down. And this is a big fillet of fish. Just take my time and make sure I'm getting all the scales off. Some people just skin, just take the whole skin off, and I don't like to do that because I like my skin. For one thing, it holds the moisture in when you're cooking it. Whether you saute it in a skillet or you bake it in the oven, the skin just kind of holds the moisture in. Once you take the skin off, it's just, I don't know, it seems kind of dry to me. So I like my skin. And sometimes, well, I know in Kroger's, in the butcher section, they used to, well, I guess it depends on which one you go to. You can ask them when you pick your fish out to go ahead and scale it for you. But this, I don't know who they hiring nowadays, but one time twice I went actually. And I asked them to go ahead and scale it for me, scale my salmon. And I got home and unwrapped it. And the man had took all the skin off. I was so mad, it seemed like half the fish was gone. So the next time I went back, I did the same thing, but I told him, I said, can you make sure can you scale the fish for me, not skin it, just scale it. So like, okay. So I go do my shopping, come back to pick up my fish, and I looked at it first, and I was frustrated because it did the same thing. And the guy that did it was like, well, this is how they do it. I don't know anybody who's, like he had never heard of scaling fish before. I'm like, really? How you back here working in the meat department and you don't know, you've never heard of people scaling fish? That just didn't make sense for me. And of course it was Jake, so I'm like, but I don't know. And then my family was in the restaurant business. My mom used to work at my grandfather owned a fish market in Chicago. And my mom used to work there, so she used to come home every day smelling like fish. From, scaling fish, cutting fish, and stuff like that. So, alright, so now we're getting down here to the bigger part, and just hold on to it. Continue scaling, and like I said, as long as you keep it under the water, that kind of keeps the scales from flying off. Oh, flying everywhere. Yeah, so more of the story is I just buy my fish and I'll come home and do it myself. I think that when they they take the skin off, you lose a lot of your meat. And sometimes the skin is good, especially if you cook it right. Saute it in the skillet and you got some nice crispy seasoned skin. I like my skin. Okay, way down to the last little bit here. And way down to that last little. Corner. So that's how I do it. Just a little bit at a time. And then you rinse the whole thing off. You can fill it and kind of run through it with my fingernails to make sure I got all the scales off. Rinse the other side, make sure you don't have any scales on the other side. And this looks good. That's a nice piece. And we're going to transfer this to the cutting board. So, I'm going to clean the other one. And I'll be right back. I'm gonna look at my father. So this is the second piece of salmon. Okay. So, and we want to let all that water out. Of course, clean that out of there. I have to clean while I'm moving them on. Alright, so we got clean side of the sink, and I just made that dishwater, so I'm not wasting my dishwater. Alright, so let's move on to the next step. Alright, so this is the second part of this. Let's see, next, after we clean the fish, we got 2 whole big pieces of salmon here. This is one of my favorite knives. It's but you gotta work with a sharp knife. So I always this is my little knife sharpener here, and it's much easier if you got a very sharp knife. I'll just run that through there a little bit. What we want to do, and this is so big I had to use 2 cutting boards. But we'll start here. So what I do is I cut portion size pieces. Okay. So I start up here. Okay. That there, and I just want to cut this whole fish up like this. Okay, so this is good for a portion, you know, of just portion size pieces. That's all I do. Nice healthy portions. You know what you do see in this video? Can we get that real quick? Verse 3 and 47. This is what they were attempting to do in this video. Let's stop the violence. Right. See how easy that cuts once you have a sharp knife? These are probably like 4-ounce pieces. They said one to another, let us restore the
decayed estate of our people. Came all together and sit at the table. Let us say one to another. Let's restore the decayed estate. They see the violence in the community. They see the drug selling in the community, the prostitution, the abortion.
And this is a one piece for somebody.
The crack.
And then I'll take the other piece of salmon.
They actually gave a damn. They did.
Right, exactly.
Unlike these people, the rappers, the entertainers you see today,
And do the same
all they
thing.
want is that money.
And the pride of life. Remember we read about that. The pride of life, the lust of the world. Right. That's where we all at now. Right. It's all about me, self. Ain't about my people no more. Right. Okay. Now you see men in purple and gold, black pants, black boots out there teaching and bringing out the word like the same thing. Y'all headed for self-destruction, but you don't want to hear it. Now we hate you. Okay. So let's play this. I want to see Chuck D. We're gonna move on and show you so much that what they were saying was right. We were headed to self-destruction, and we
I
did.
probably could have sharpened my knife a little more because usually it just cuts a lot smoother than that through the skin.
Well, that's gonna take me back. I look back there, I seen TV like he was in the group, man. He was about to scratch it up back there.
Yeah, we're gonna leave that piece for one person.
Come on, Captain.
Alright, so we can move, put this away.
They were talking something. But what's going on with our people? What happened? What happened?
Alright.
Scripture says, as the title of the Bible by the Father, be not deceived, be not deceived, okay? Evil communication.
Now I still go ahead and
What are those good manners? God's law, statutes, commandments.
see all that
That's
fish?
how we correct. And that's
That
how we
is
do business.
$44 worth of salmon that you can probably eat on.
Park and Big. What happened there? We hear about East Coast and
It
West
depends
Coast.
on the family.
We hear about that today. Okay. What was
But-
the result out of all that? The very thing that they
Let's I'm gonna rinse these off, give this another rinse.
So, what you got for me?
Pat it dry with paper towels, clean paper towels, and then put the seasoning on them and go from there. Okay, so I'll be right back. Let the water run off. I don't know if y'all can see. I'm by myself, so. So I'm draining all the water off as much as I can. And for this next step, we got the fish clean and we got it cut in portion-sized pieces. I'm actually gonna put this in the refrigerator and get my chicken ready. Cause what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna season both the chicken and the fish at the same time. So I'm not double working. So got this clean. This is going in the refrigerator until I'm done with the chicken. Always wash your hands. Especially when dealing with chicken. Very important. You ain't gotta get them fingernails good. Okay, so now we're gonna clean the chicken. This is 6 pounds of chicken breast. Okay, so once my sink is clean, but what I do is I have my bowl here. Actually, we just put this down in the sink. Once I get the fat cleaned off, excess fat off of there, then I'll put them in my bowl. Throw this away immediately. So I'm working on the side of my sink where I have a garbage disposal. I hate all of this fat. I don't like this. All of this comes off. Okay. And right down the garbage disposal. So I try to clean my chicken very well. All of this extra, I don't know what flying membrane, I don't know, but I've pulled all of that, all that off. And I'm starting to get away from chicken so much. But you know, it's good for storage and for hard times. You can get it. It's not expensive, and I'm actually preparing for it's for a recipe. So when I was eating chicken, I would buy about 4 of these. 4 big packages of these, like I was buying salmon, like, and just stock up. I'm just putting this in my bowl. And then, so I'm cleaning all this off. It's not bad. All the fat comes off. All the fat. There's nothing worse that I hate than a bunch of fat on a piece of chicken. Fried chicken, baked chicken, and you got it taste fat on the chicken and all that. It's just not appetizing to me. Any fat that I see, I'm trying to get it off. Even if I take some meat with it, it's coming off. The fat is coming off. It's nasty to me. And I always run my hands across it to make sure it's no, I don't know, it's like a slime membrane, a slimy film on top of chicken. I always get that off. I don't like that either. So remember, this is day 2. The first day, we did all our shopping and we got everything. I got a bunch of frozen vegetables. I'll go through it. But like I said, if I haven't, well, I said it already. With a budget of around $380, I got, I've stockpiled on a lot of vegetables, not so much meat, because we're trying to get away from it. So we got lots of tomatoes. The first day we came home, I put all my frozen vegetables in the freezer, and we immediately put the meat in the refrigerator, and immediately started to prepare the tomatoes for dehydration. So we got that done. I'm going to take the last of the tomatoes off of the dehydrator and put them away. So let's see, the first day, yeah, we did that. The tomatoes, got them on the dehydrator, and I also cut up sliced all of the peppers that I bought yesterday. So that's what we did yesterday. Day 2, we're taking off the rest of the tomatoes. We're gonna go ahead and put away all the meat. and put some peppers on. Well, I should be able to get one batch of peppers done, dehydrated before sundown. It's Friday, y'all. So that's the plan. That's a whole piece of fat. I'm not lazy when it comes to getting the fat off this chicken.
CNN, the Dallas Police Department is investigating the homicide of 28-year-old Melvin A. Noble, also known as the
And I'm always listening to my classes while I'm working. Normally things would go a lot faster because my kids would be here, but they're grown up now. But this is a good way for your kids to learn how to do this stuff, and it makes things go faster for you too. So my son used to be the one to clean the fish. So while he's cleaning the fish, I'm doing something that frees me up to do something else. One of the girls would go ahead and clean the chicken. So it helps you, get things done faster. Plus, it teaches them. Right now, I have my niece here, Shania, but she's in virtual school, and I don't have time to wait for her to get out to help, and she'll help a little bit later. All right, this is our last piece of chicken breast. That's Book of Our Fathers you hear in the background right now. Alright, I think that is good. Alright, so all this fat is going down the drain. Alright. Rinse this all again. And I'm going to come back and season everything. Make sure you don't have no excess. Then you miss some fat. See, I missed a little bit of fat there. Okay. So I will be back. I'm going to take a break, and I actually need to take the last of the peppers off and take the last of the tomatoes off and put the peppers on the dehydrator. So we're going to drain as much water off this as possible. And that's the chicken. Okay. Alright, and I'll be right back with the next step. This is all of the chicken breasts here. And I'll be right back. Alright, so time for step 3. Get out. Alright. Shalom, so time for step 3. We're going to go ahead and season the meat, the chicken and the fish. And these are this is what I use. I season with the wet ingredients and dry ingredients. So I'm going to show y'all some of my secrets today. So, butter. You can do a much healthier choice if you want. I like margarine. And then lemon juice. So I use this for both the lemon and the chicken and the fish. And I use quite a bit. I'm heavy-handed with my seasoning, but you can use as much or as little as you like. So for the amount of fish and chicken that I have, I'm going to use quite a bit, and the more the better, because everything is, you have more moisture. So then I pour lemon juice in here, and this is, you can use the regular kind, but, you know, the Santa Cruz pure lemon juice. So I would normally put a lot more lemon juice, but I'm kind of low. Alright, so I kind of do maybe like half and half. So I don't know if you can see how much lemon juice I have in there, about equal parts. I'm gonna put this in the microwave and I'm gonna melt it. Alright, so as far as the chicken, so I set it in the refrigerator and it kind of accumulated some more water. We're gonna drain that rest of that water off. And I use a fresh paper towel to kind of take off whatever excess water might be in the chicken. And since these are so thick, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of cut some slits. Just some little slits. just so the reason I'm doing this is so the seasoning, the marinade can, you know, penetrate these thick pieces of chicken breast. Okay. And then I'll put this back. Clean this off. Always wash your hands when you're doing chicken. Alright, so the butter, you can turn it up a little bit more, but turn it down. So I'll put it on 1 minute increments and then kind of stir it. Then I'll put it back. Then I'll put it back in the refrigerator. Back in the microwave to continue melting. Alright, so I'll do that. I'm going to get my seasonings out. I'm done with the butter. Here, put this back. Alright, so salmon, chicken. And let's get our seasonings out. So you can use whatever seasonings that you want. You can use whatever seasonings you want. I'm more of a everything in the cabinet type seasoning. I like my oregano, black pepper. I like a little spice. I'm gonna add some crushed red pepper flakes, paprika, cayenne pepper, and I also get these from Sam's Club. I think I got these like a couple of years ago, and I ain't had seasonings then. Italian. Love my lemon pepper seasoning. We're gonna have plenty of salt, so I don't typically use seasoning salt. You might use a little thyme, and you can put some chives in there. And of course, you gotta have garlic and onion powder. Pink Himalayan salt. I like my Creole seasoning, and gotta have some fluffy mama. Okay. So first, our lemon butter mixture is ready. I'm gonna split this between the chicken and the salmon. A little bit more for the salmon because I have more salmon than chicken. So I'm just gonna eyeball this. And then I'm gonna pour and the rest for that. And one thing I do for the chicken that I don't do for the fish, my little secret ingredient, it's good for marinade, is Italian. So I squirt a nice amount on there, and the chicken. After that, I go in with my seasonings. That's the salt. Well, not lots, but. Do salt and pepper. Like I said, this is a lot, so I can get a little. I'm not shy with the seasoning. Don't be shy. My rule of thumb is cover the meats with your the seasoning, because when you stir it, it's gonna all get mixed in. So no particular order. Onion powder. Ooh, excuse me. That's what happens when you use a lot of seasoning. Garlic powder. Plenty. Lemon pepper. I think is what I want to taste the most of. I'll put first. I think. Cayenne pepper.
Why have we spoken of these? Principally because it was Arabs and Muslims who were enslaved, which makes people reluctant to talk about Islam for most of them. A lack of education coupled with
I'm gonna stop right there. I just want to pull out the fact because a lot of people be like, "Oh, Esau's the enemy. Esau, he's the top enemy." Psalm 83. Esau is the top enemy.
Just a little.
But who does God have second on the hit list of black people's enemies?
That's right.
Hispanics and Native Indians.
Paprika.
Read that when you get it.
Psalm chapter 83 and verse 4, verse 6. The top
Herbs.
Of Edom.
Chives.
Of Edom. That's the so-called white man. Termalika, man. He's the number one on God's hit list as the enemy of blacks, Hispanics, and Native. He is worse.
Italian season. I don't like Italian
Right
season.
after Esau, read. And the Ishmaelites. And the Ishmaelites who are the Arabs.
A little bit of time.
Number two on his hit list. Why? Because they answered the
And we are going to wash our hands and actually, when I put the lid back on these, and you shake them up. And you want to make sure, be careful that they're really tight. And you can wash your hands and go ahead and mix them some more. I'll probably mix them a little bit more than that, but just to give you an idea how everything is kind of looking. You can shake it up more until everything is, and then, you know, wash your hands, kind of move them around, make sure that all the seasonings is spread through evenly. And the same with the chicken. Now this lid is not really a little bit. Yeah, but yeah, make sure you hold it tight and be careful, because that did it. So let me wash my hands and make sure this gets stirred up really good. Alright, so let's do the chicken. Didn't get mixed up. So I'm just going straight in. And this, I kind of like using my hand anyway, because look at all the seasoning we lost on the lid. Like I said, everybody does things differently. You can use your own seasonings. But my thing is just this makes it easier for those of us that have children at home, little children, lords, and you know you gotta work. This just makes things a whole lot easier once you separate this, and then all you gotta do is take out what you need and not defrost like a whole family pack of chicken breast, and then figure out what to do with it. And just go ahead and get it all seasoned at one time where you can take out what you need. Okay, so that's done. Do the same with the salmon. Just make sure all the seasons is distributed evenly. This one I think I like shaking it up better, and I wish I had more. I'm gonna shake this up some more. Alright, so that's good. Alright, so we got all the meat seasoned, the salmon and the chicken. So let me go ahead and put everything away, and then we'll move on to the next step. Okay. Alright, so we've cleared the area, and now we're going to go ahead and separate the meats and put them away. So we need freezer bags. So I always use a gallon freezer bag, and regular sandwich bags work that don't have the little zip. Usually that's what I use. They're cheaper, and all you're gonna that will work better. So if you get the ones, the sandwich bags that just fold over, then that will work better. So, but this is what I have right now, so this is what I'm gonna be using. So put everything away, hands clean. So for right now, what I'm gonna do, I have a recipe where I need 4 breasts, so I'm gonna just put those together in the freezer bag first, and the rest I'm gonna store. So see how that seasoning is all on there? That's gonna marinate, and I'm gonna use these pieces Sunday. Alright, so that's done. So this is gonna go, today is Friday. I might freeze it and just take it back out early Sunday, because I don't like to leave chicken sitting out for too long. So and then the rest of it I am going to individually storm. Make sure I get plenty of the marinade on each piece. And just put it down in there. Try to get whatever air is out. Oh, it's good. We got 1 chicken breast. 1 whole full chicken breast. So I'm going to do this for each piece, and I'm storing them individually. So that way, if it's just you eating, you can always go in the freezer, get your chicken out, defrost it, and cook it, and you're good to go. Slice it up, put it on a piece of, put it on the salad. And make sure I use up all of the seasonings in there. That was a really small piece of chicken. Show you what I'm doing. So I'm just scooping up all the seasoning that I have in here. I'll try to get as much as I can to go in that little bag. And the less air it has in there, the better it marinates. And then for whatever you got some extra seasoning left, I know it's a kind of messy process, but it's worth it. I mean, you can use your hands, you can use a so that way you get this right, all this good seasoning. And then some more marinade in there. Squeeze the air out. Let me see. This one can probably use just a little more. Taste not one now, right? And this seasoning smells really good, especially with the Italian marinade. And let's see. I can put a little more in here and then we're done with the chicken. Alright, so let's clean up. Wet paper towel. And you're gonna kind of go over the outside of these bags and get whatever residue. Like I said, it is a messy process. Do I have a pen down here? Go look upstairs and buy my in my Bible. It should be a black pen. Alright, so you're gonna clean the outside of the bag.
Body.
Not Abigail. Alright, so I'm gonna mark this because this is for long-term storage. So as soon as I get a pen, there we go. Alright. What is the date today? The 20th? Alright, so alright. Veggie wrap. That sounds fun. Alright, so, and what we're gonna do is take these individually wrapped chicken breasts, put them in the freezer bag, like so. Now, keep in mind, normally I would buy a lot more chicken. So, normally I probably have about 4 big bags of these. So this is how it's gonna look going in the freezer. So you got individually wrapped chicken breasts. Instead of unthawing everything to cook, I mean, you can just unthaw what you need. But just think, if you're still eating meat or eating chicken and you have like 4 big, you're trying to stockpile, you got 4 big family packs of chicken breasts. This is what you would do. This is what I would do. And then separate them. Put them in the freezer lock bag. Fold them. To make sure to get as much air out as possible. And then, put them in the freezer. Another thing you can do too, I'm just freezing this like this for right now, but with the food saver, you can also put them in the food saver bags. You can put them like this, and hold on a second. So you could do something like this. So all I did was use my mandolin and slice up zucchini and squash, and in each one I put them in one of the little Ziploc bags, left them open, but I packed them in this, and then I put it in the food saver. It sucked all of the air out of it, and I put it in the freezer. So in the case that, you know, I want to make something and I just want a little bit, I can cut this open. I can take, you know, some squash or zucchini out. They're individually wrapped inside here, and then I can use what I want. I can seal it back, put it in the freezer. So that's a better option. It keeps it from being freezer burned quicker, so and it lasts longer. So this is what I like to do a lot of times with the food saver, but we all don't have that. So this works even, you know, this works just as good. You know, individually wrapped, and then trying to get as much air out as possible and just sticking this in the freezer. So that's what I'm gonna do, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna do the salmon the same way. Alright, Shalom. So you see Abigail is home, so now we got several different projects going on in the kitchen at once. But I got my bag ready for my salmon fillet, so we're gonna pack up the salmon individually and put them all in this Ziploc bag. I might have to use 2 freezer bags.
Me I hold on to you. Hold on tight, nah give up on you. Been some years and me still on you. Enough waste man, me say change them ways, them pop style and give up on you. But I hold you down for real. Tell you the things I feel. Actions I don't just say, I do for real. I just can't give up. 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 I just we've been through the fire, we've been through the flames, yeah. I never turn my back on you. I stay the same on you. Them waste boy, they change on you. Them rearrange on you. Ungrateful traits of them. Stop on strange on you. When a real man don't play no games, I gotta say it plain, yeah. I really want you. Know that I want you. Till I move off, you ain't messing with no lame. I gotta say it plain. They don't really want your play. They don't really want your love, no. Hold on tight, nah give up on you. Been some years and me still on you. Enough waste man, me say change them ways, them pop style and give up on you. But I hold you down for real. Right. Tell you the things I feel. Actions I don't just say, I do for real.
I'm leaving these bags open because I'm probably going to come back and put some more juice in them. Why are you laughing at me? You can't be laughing at me in my video.
Mommy, what happened?
What happened? Oh, it busted the whole thing loose?
Yes.
You got to stop tearing up my gadgets. I told you need to cut them pieces. Them some strong carrot pieces.
The carrot didn't do it. It was a lime.
You put a lime in there?
A quarter of a piece of lime. I cut it. I guess I should have put the peel off. I want the peel. I guess it's done. It's done now. We got some more sandwich meat or anything?
Nope. Y'all want some salmon for dinner? Well, it's too late to cook anything.
Do we have any rice made in here?
I did not. I put the pasta up.
So we got pasta left over? Any other leftovers?
Nope.
Ain't no fish left over?
I ate it.
Dang it. It wasn't but a little bit. I know, but
You want me to saute some fish in the skillet real quick?
no. We got anything canned?
We got collard greens.
No.
What do you mean canned?
Like canned in here.
Me, I hold on to you. Hold on tight, nah give up on you. Been some years and me still on you. Enough waste man, missy change them ways, them pop style and give up on you. But I hold you down for real. Tell you the things I feel. Actions I don't just say, I do for real. I just can't give up. 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 I just. We been through the fire, we been through the flames. Yeah. I never turn my back on you. I stay the same on you. Them waste boy, they change on you. Them rearrange on you. Ungrateful traitor them. Stop move strange on you. Man, a real man don't play no games. I gotta say it plain. Yeah. I really want you. Know that I want you. Till I move off, you ain't messing with no lame. I gotta say it plain. They don't really want your play. They don't really want your love, no. Hold on tight, nah give up on you. Been some years and me still on you. Enough waste man, missy change them ways, them pop style and give up on you. But I hold you down for real. Right. Tell you the things I feel. Actions I don't just say, I do for real. I just can't give up.
Alright. We're gonna fry us. Put us some salmon in the skillet.
You record everything, don't you? You just record.
That's for this purpose. And then we'll put some you making them for tomorrow too? I'm cooking those 4 fillets that's in that bowl right there.
Oh.
That should be enough, right? We ain't gotta eat all a whole 4 pieces, right? So this is how I use my dried vegetables. So I got some dried onions here and some dried garlic. This is a little demonstration. Oh, I didn't seal that. Okay. So you can crush this. Get some real quick. The sun about to go down, so we're gonna get some salmon sauteed up real quick. Let that heat up. Got some garlic. Some dried garlic. Okay, I need to seal these bags. Heat up some. It'll soften back up. What's going to soften this up is the juice from the salmon. in the heat. These are a few of the tomatoes we just dehydrated. I'm gonna put some of those in there. You say it smells good? Alright, so we need to turn our heat down. It's cooking too fast. We don't want to burn our stuff. Alright. Yeah. So I'm gonna do it before my dry ingredients burn in this oil. So I'm gonna play these in here. You see the steam in the water. Alright. I'm gonna pour a little bit of this in here. I'm sorry, so you can see it. So some of this lemon butter juice in there. Okay. Ow! That's hot. Alright, so and then I'm gonna put the top on this. I'm gonna turn it back up a little bit more. And cover it up with the seasoning, the dried seasoning. I mean the dried vegetables, herbs. Let's see how that do. My dried herbs got a little too dark. Alright. So then we're gonna put a top on that, we're gonna leave it. Top on that, and well, we still putting away the rest of the salmon. We're gonna let that cook, and then we got some dinner for the night. Wait a minute, what's up? Where's my container with the juices? Did you take it? Oh, you poured it out. I was still using that seasoning. I'm sorry. That was good juice. I thought you was done. She poured the rest of my juice down the drain.
Forgive me. 70 times 7.
Alright, y'all. Since we don't have any more juice to put in the fish.
Sorry.
I guess this is enough. It's gonna have to do.
She do. She better record everything. Everything.
So now we just gonna seal everything. I might as well have sealed everything from the beginning. I left the bags.
Passive aggressiveness.
I left the bags open so I can add some more juice, but now we got no more juice to add. So I'm gonna put this.
Oh my goodness.
So that's what we're gonna do now.
Why did you take the other juice out? You need the other juice? Yeah, Mom. Is that okay? Use the other juice next time. I kind of want this one.
That dry salmon. Okay. Alright, moving along, moving along.
Were you trying to dehydrate avocados?
I saw a video where you can mash them up and freeze them.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Can I show them what I'm doing? Look. I'm cutting avocados.
That is a whole nother video.
No, it's not. Because I'm doing it right now.
Oh my
Now I'll put it together, put some saran wrap on it, and got avocado. And we put some lemon juice on the inside, but still.
Right. Thank you for intermission. So you see how much is fitting in here, all this? Alright, so, oh, the battery is low. Okay, so that's all I'm going to do is go ahead and put these in here. Like I said, let all as much air out as possible. See what I gotta go through? I was doing just fine at home by myself, and then when they get home.
Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. It's funny.
You see what be going on in Esther's kitchen? That's what I got to deal with. Alright, so I think I should be able to get that clothes. I'm too lazy. I don't want to waste another bag. Yep. Alright, so that's a lot of fish. I was able to get it in one freezer bag. Fill it on up. And anytime you get home late for work or you want to make something quick, I mean, you can make some rice, which all you got to do is open this up, grab a bag out, defrost it,
No, it's that.
put it in the skillet or the oven, and that's it. Quick fix. So this is going in the freezer. And that concludes our salmon, separating the salmon.
Hi.
So that concludes the video of separating and storing the salmon for long term. That I haven't tried it yet, and maybe I will for another video, but you can also dry meats. So just like I separated them, I might try to put some on the dehydrator and see how that works. But for right now, you know, that's my video for salmon. So appreciate you for tuning in. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and looking forward to seeing you for the next time. Shalom.
The fruit of your labor shows. It's evident to heaven sent. You showed us how to keep the laws. Repentant souls, kingdom calls. Strengthening the family bond. You showed us we're worthy. We're no longer worldly. Now it's time for us to stand strong. Oh, we gotta hold on. Trials sometimes last so long. Yes, they do. But every time we make it through, we come more stronger. A little while. you, Father, Father. With every temptation, you make a way to escape. There's nothing that we can't bear. We just gotta keep the faith and pray. Now I understand that